welcome back to Little's University. We're so excited to have you, and we're going to jump right in because we have a book that I have been reading for years. I remember reading this when I was a little. My mom would read this story to me, and when we would go to the public library, the librarians would read this story to us too in the summer, because one of the things that I wanted to start with, and that's why I mentioned the library, is to make sure that all of our littles have gone to their public library and signed up for the summer reading program called Tales and Tales. So make sure that you get over to your public library and sign up for Tales and Tales. And when you get your list, inside, you're going to number the lines and tell us which stories you've read. And you'll see my little and I just got our Tales and Tales program the other day, and so we've started writing in our books. So make sure that you go get yours, because the library probably has a special gift for you too. We were very excited when we opened up our bag and found that we started with a book. They gave us a book before we even read all the stories that we need to read for the program. So we were very excited to join our friends for Tales and Tales at our public library, and we hope you'll join us too, because each Little's University, you'll be able to add a story onto your list. And the other thing that we do at our public library, and we hope that you'll join us, is a program called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. So we started this over a year ago. And what we do is we read our stories, and then we take our list of books into the library, and they give us a special sticker for every 100 books we read. Now, we only have 2 stickers on here. You know why? Because when the pandemic started, we had to stop going to the library, which is such a bummer. But guess what? The libraries are open again. So we were so excited to go back in that we forgot to take all of our lists. So here's what the librarian's going to give you. She's going to give you a sheet that has 100 circles on it. So every time you read a book, you color in a circle. You can see this is from January 2020. We need to take this in and get our sticker to put on our program. But we have a bunch of these sheets that we need to take, get our sticker, and make sure that we get credit for the books that we're reading before kindergarten. And we are well on our way to reading 1,000 books before kindergarten. Will you join us in reading 1,000 books before we start kindergarten? We would love that. So today we are going to get you one book closer on your Tales and Tales list, on your 1,000 books before kindergarten. And I'm very excited. I hope that everybody got a chance to work with the Harford County Education Foundation, our amazing partners who are making sure that you have a copy of the book that we're going to read so that we can read it together. So, with no further ado, do you know what that means? That means we're not going to wait any longer. We're going to jump right in to one of my favorite stories. And this book is called Blueberries for Sal by Robert McCloskey. And Mr. McCloskey not only wrote the words, but he drew the pictures too. So he's the author and the illustrator. He had 2 roles in making this book come alive for us today, which we're very excited about. And the other group that we need to thank is the publisher, and that's Penguin Publishing. We want to say thank you to them for letting us read this story with our littles today. So let's get started. Let's do a quick review, because I know we have some very smart littles out there. Let's look at the different parts of the book. Who remembers what this part of the book is? What part of the book is this? This is the cover, which means that if we flip it over, this is the back. What is that on the back? Do you see? Is he sticking out his tongue? Why would he have his tongue? I can't wait to find out what's going on with that bear. And then here, what is this part of the book? This is the spine or the bind. The spine or the bind. And we have, what's inside here? We have pages. We have pages, and on our pages, we have words and illustrations or pictures, right? Is there something unique about these pictures? What is unique about these pictures? Do you see all the colors of the rainbow in these pictures? No, these are in black and white. Or mine actually looks a little blue. It's a little blue and white. So you see that? So it's more like an etching, because there are different ways to draw, right? Different ways to color and make pictures. So these are more of an etching type image, which is really pretty. So when we look at our title on the front cover, our title is Blueberries for Sal. Let's make a prediction. Do you know what a prediction is? Prediction is when we guess what may happen by using clues that we have. So our clue here in our title, Blueberries for Sal, makes me think that Sal may be a character, a person we meet in the story, and Sal may get some blueberries. Does the picture match the title, Blueberries for Sal? Do you think this is Sal and these might be the blueberries? I think so. All right, let's jump in, littles. Are you ready? Are you ready to join me? Show of hands, who loves blueberries? Me too. Me too. Now, honk your nose, honk, just once, if you've been blueberry picking. Honk. I have, but I haven't gotten to take my little blueberry picking yet. With the pandemic, we didn't get to do that last year when we probably would have when she was old enough to start blueberry picking. So maybe this summer, maybe we'll get to go blueberry picking. I think there are a couple places around Harford County. Somebody will have to write in and tell us where's the best place to go blueberry picking so my little and I can head there as soon as possible. All right, so once you see this, put in the comments where your favorite place is to go blueberry picking. Make sure your parents put that in there for me and my little. All right, so Blueberries for Sal by Robert McCloskey. This is one of my favorite illustrations too, because does this look like your kitchen at home? This doesn't look like my kitchen. I don't have a stove like that. I do not have a stove like that, and you will not catch me canning in my kitchen. I'm always very impressed with mommies that know how to can and who can do that. Can your mommy do that? Or even maybe your daddy likes to go canning. Maybe he likes to pick blueberries and can them, make them into preserves. If you have a mommy or daddy that can do that, that's so cool. But you can tell from this picture, because this stove looks a little older, and it looks like some of the other materials are a little older. Do you think this book was written a little while ago? Maybe this was written a few years ago. Let's see what happens and see if we can see that from their outfits that this may be from a different time period. Yeah, which is really cool. I always love to find clues like that in the pictures of books. Blueberries for Sal by Robert McCloskey. Looks like Sal's picking some blueberries. I think you guys made a very good prediction that Sal might get some blueberries in this story. Blueberries for Sal. One day, little Sal went with her mother to Blueberry Hill to pick blueberries. Little Sal brought along her small tin pail, and her mother brought her large tin pail to put berries in. "We will take our berries home and can them," said her mother. "Then we will have food for the winter." There's another clue about the time period. Do you see that car? How cool is that car? Little Sal picked 3 berries and dropped them in her little tin pail. Kaplink, kaplank, kaplonk. She picked 3 more berries and ate them. Then she picked more berries and dropped 1 in the pail. Kaplunk. And the rest she ate. Then little Sal ate all 4 blueberries out of her pail. Is she doing a good job picking blueberries? Are you supposed to eat them all before you put them in your pail? Her mother walked slowly through the bushes, picking blueberries as she went and putting them in her pail. Little Sal struggled along behind, picking blueberries and eating every single one. She's never going to fill her pail at that rate, is she? Little Sal hurried ahead and dropped a blueberry in her mother's pail. It didn't sound kaplink because the bottom of the pail was already covered with berries. She reached down inside to get her berry back, though she really didn't mean to. She pulled out a large handful because there were so many blueberries right up close to the one she had put in. Her mother stopped picking and said, "Now, Sal, you run along and pick your own berries. Mother wants to take her berries home and can them for next winter." Her mother went back to her picking, but little Sal, because her feet were tired of standing and walking, sat down in the middle of a large clump of bushes and ate blueberries. She's just picking them right off the bush and popping them in her mouth. That's how I used to do blueberry picking too when I was Sal's age. On the other side of Blueberry Hill, Little Bear came with his mother to eat blueberries. Little Bear, she said, eat lots of berries and grow big and fat. We must store up food for the long, cold winter. That sounds just like Sal's mom. Sal's mom said we need to store the berries. We're going to can them so we have food for the winter. Mama Bear is telling Little Bear to eat all the berries to store up food for the long winter. Why is she doing that? Do bears hibernate? They need all that insulation to hibernate, which means they go to sleep all winter long. Can you imagine sleeping all through the winter? No snow days? Oh, that would be terrible. Little Bear followed behind his mother as she walked slowly through the bushes eating berries. Little Bear stopped now and then to eat berries. Then he had to hustle along to catch up. Is he trying to catch up to his mama? Because his feet were tired of hustling, he picked out a large clump of bushes and sat down right in the middle and ate blueberries. Who else did that? Did Sal do that too? Are they having parallel stories? They're kind of doing the same thing, right? Over on the other side of the hill, little Sal ate all of the berries she could reach from where she was sitting. Then she started out to find her mother. She heard a noise from around a rock and thought, that is my mother walking along. Is she peeking around the rock? She's going to find her mother. But it was a mother crow and her children, and they stopped eating berries and flew away, saying, caw, caw, caw. Then she heard another noise in the bushes and thought, that is surely my mother, and I will go that way. Do you think she's going to find her mother if she follows this noise? I don't know. Who else is on Blueberry Hill? But it was Little Bear's mother instead. She was tramping along, eating berries and thinking about storing up food for the winter. Little Sal tramped right along behind her. By this time, Little Bear had eaten all the berries he could reach without moving from his clump of bushes. Then he hustled off to catch up with his mother. He hunted and hunted, but his mother was nowhere to be seen. He heard a noise from over a stump and thought, that is my mother walking along. Do you think it's his mother? What do you think's gonna happen? But it was a mother partridge and her children. They stopped eating berries and hurried away. Then he heard a noise in the bushes and thought, that is surely my mother. I will hustle that way. Do you think Little Bear is gonna find his mother if he follows the sound? But it was little Sal's mother instead. She was walking along, picking berries and thinking about canning them for next winter. Little Bear hustled right along behind. What do you think little Sal's mother's gonna do when she turns around and finds a bear cub? Ooh. There. Little Bear and little Sal's mother and little Sal and little Bear's mother were all mixed up with each other among the blueberries on Blueberry Hill. Look at that. You can see little Sal following Little Bear's mother, and here's Little Bear following Sal's mother. Little Bear's mother heard Sal walking along behind and thought it was Little Bear, and she said, Little Bear, munch, munch, eat all you can possibly hold. Swallow. Little Sal said nothing. She picked 3 berries and dropped them. Kaplink, kaplank, kaplunk, in her small tin pail. Little Bear's mother turned around to see what on earth could make a noise like kaplunk. Grumph, she cried, choking on a mouthful of berries. That is not my child. Where is Little Bear? She took one good look and backed away. She was old enough to be shy of people, even a very small person like little Sal. Then she turned around and walked off very fast to hunt for Little Bear. Is Little Bear's mama? She's worried. She's going, where's my little bear? Little Sal's mother heard Little Bear tramping along behind, and thought it was little Sal. She kept right on picking and thinking about canning blueberries for next winter. There's a little bear hiding in the bushes. Little Bear padded up and peeked into her pail. Of course, he only wanted to taste a few of what was inside, but there were so many and they were so close together that he tasted a tremendous mouthful by mistake. "Now, Sal," said little Sal's mother without turning around, "you run along and pick your own berries. Mother wants to can these for next winter." Little Bear tasted another tremendous mouthful and almost spilled the entire pail of blueberries. Little Sal's mother turned around and gasped, "My goodness, you are not little Sal. Where is my child?" Little Bear just sat munching and swallowing and licking his lips. Little Sal's mother slowly backed away. She was old enough to be shy of bears, even very small bears like Little Bear. Then she turned and walked away quickly to look for little Sal. She's wondering where her child is. That sounds just like Little Bear's mama. She hadn't gone very far before she heard a kaplink, kaplank, kaplunk. She knew just what made that kind of noise. Do you think little Sal's mother was very relieved to find her? Little Bear's mother had not hunted very long before she heard a hustling sound that stopped now and then to munch and swallow. She knew just what made that kind of a noise. Bet she was relieved to find Little Bear. Little Bear and his mother went home down one side of Blueberry Hill, eating blueberries all the way and full of food stored up for next winter. And little Sal and her mother went down the other side of Blueberry Hill, picking berries all the way, and drove home with food to can for next winter, a whole pail of blueberries and 3 more besides. The end. And that was Blueberries for Sal. And thank you to all of our littles who joined us. I can't wait to announce the next book. I don't have it selected yet, so this one is not ready to be announced yet, but as soon as we do, we'll make sure we put all the information out on Instagram and Facebook so that you know it's time to go visit our amazing partners at the Harford County Education Foundation to get your copy of our next book. I hope you guys have a great rest of the month and can't wait to see you back here in August.